Are you planning a Neo to integration suite migration? I know there's a lot of customers that are planning this, and this is a project you need to undertake and make sure you manage a lot of all of these components in place. There is a tool from SAP that allows you to do some of these things. I do think that we in this new release 22.12 have added some features that makes this process easier for you to manage. This is our migration to integration suite, and it can take both Neo, Cloud Foundry instances and migrate it into some other CPI instances. The idea is that you first create a migration landscape that allows you to migrate from one system to another, and then you create a transport system in the new landscape. And we just deleted all of these objects, so now they are not transported anymore. First thing is I would select the package that I want to migrate. We can create custom mappings, and I think this is one of the important things, because in a Neo world it was a lot of playing and understanding what was going on. When you're going to migration or integration suite, this is the place you're going to have your integration for a long time. So it makes sense that you can rename some of these artifacts to make sure that they are always working as they're supposed to be. We can see here, we can update URLs, source, we can update names, artifacts as we get along, making it easier for us to manage what is the new landscape that we need to have. So now we have 26 and 101 as names for these objects. We would select the artifact. We will create a ticket for the migration here. This is using the FIGAF standard migration, but the only thing is, because we use this renaming, we can obviously handle it in a little different way. So now we have a transport here. Here we are transporting from this dev system to, and we can see the name of the target iFlow in the integration suite. And here we can see the different artifacts that is being used here. We can obviously make modifications to some of these if they are updated. So now we can go and we can select import. And import will then import all of these objects on the target system and deploy the configuration. And we can see here we are also updating the package. So yeah, everything is updated as it's supposed to be in our new landscape. Transported successfully. We can roll back. We can see the details of this transport. But one thing we need to check first is we want to check if the iFlows we migrated was correct. So what we can do is we can run it here on this new item. And if we look at the result here, we can see that the view result here, we can see that this was executed on our integration suite tenant. Here we can see that the FIGAF message was processed, and we can look at the comparison here. We now have the result of this test, and we can go in and look at the diffs here. We can see there was some difference in the API key, because that was what we made a modification here when we transported it. We also have a date and a message header that was different, so we can just go and ignore those. And we can compare again. Skip successfully, and now we will see that all of this is successful. So it's easy to see everything has been processed correctly. That means we can also check on this check mark. We can see the last test result was success. For this specific one, we will select the items again. And now we can create the ticket for the QA. So in this landscape, we just have one system, a dev to a QA, a dev QA that we'll be using for this, and we just select it. We create the transport again. So now we're transporting on this, and here we're using our virtual tenant where we're adding pre and post fixes to the landscape, making it easier for you to have an item that you're reusing. One of the things we can do is we can look at this. We can see here that it automatically, because we have in our landscape configuration, have added replacement of HANA Dev to HANA QA. We can also go in and say, okay, we want to use a different objects. So are there any other objects here that's not renamed the same thing? On this tenant, get customer, let's use this one. So let's see if it makes some modifications to it. Now, well, I guess they were mostly configured the same. But anyway, it is able to, here we made a change on this. So it is able to fit data from your old system. We can reuse that in an easy way. And now it is just to import it. Obviously, you could also have configured the landscape to send it to approval first, to give you better control over what is being transported. And now everything is imported successfully. I'm not sure if we added the ability to deploy it, but if we open the package here, we can see that the package is prefixed with QA, sample QA as the name of this landscape is being defined, making it a lot easier for us to handle the migration into this new landscape. I hope you find this interesting and want to try it out. You can go to figaf.com and sign up for our free trial where you can see how this migration can happen and how simple it is to actually handle your migration. Thank you.